My name is Andreea Hara. I live in Hamm in Switzerland. And I am a senior HR professional. I've been living in Switzerland for almost 10 years. And I see myself as a visionary or a futurist when it comes to the world of work. This is what keeps me going when I think about my career. My own story with coronavirus, or let's say the COVID times. When it all began, the first feeling that I got was a feeling of course, restlessness and a huge question mark regarding the health of myself and my family. As everything happened gradually in Europe, I didn't feel it was a sense of this is a serious thing. It affects us all, and we need to come together and do something a bit more radical. Because this didn't happen. I didn't feel it happen in Switzerland, at least. I don't know how other countries, adapted or reacted to COVID. It was hard for me to grasp the magnitude of it in the first, let's say, few months. It became concrete and raw and extremely, let's say, emotional when the lockdown happened in Switzerland, which was some months after the virus came to Europe. And that period was extremely hard because at that time I was myself personally struggling with some health issues. And that was why I decided to do a career break, something which I was experimenting. I didn't know how it would look like. And then COVID happened on top of everything. And it was extremely hard to manage my day in a way where I could see myself doing something to better my health while keeping my family afloat. And there were moments where I felt I'm failing at this, and I don't know what to do. I felt isolated because everything closed down. There was the lack of direct interaction was becoming more and more obvious. Although I didn't feel the pain that comes with not being able to meet a friend. I didn't feel that in the first month. I think I started realizing it maybe 2 months in, and I started thinking about a coping mechanism. What would be the best way for me to still keep my sanity while having a lockdown and having a very rambunctious child at home with everything being closed. And I found myself as a woman, as a professional, and as a mother, I felt myself struggling. And what happened naturally was of course, a breakdown of my emotions, and then, of course, a very hard conversation with my partner regarding how I felt, where I was emotionally, and what I needed to do to get out of that hole where I found myself in those days and months. And the lucky thing for me was that I have a very supportive partner, and we were both in this. My escape was my daily routine of being outside the house. Thankfully, we have beautiful hills and woods here, so I was able to escape the hectic, let's say, life with a very small child at home. And that was a workaround. I call it a workaround. It wasn't perfect all the time, but I was able to be out of the house for an hour and a half. And that meant a lot because I was able to, exercise, cycle, see something new, something different. And then I was able to recharge for a little bit my batteries and come back home and and then be with my family and use that energy to just get us the day. That was one coping mechanism that helped me a lot. And as things started to somehow enter a new way of a new normal here in Switzerland, at least, I found myself being somehow torn between my need to help others and to be conscientious about how to protect others from the virus, therefore wearing a mask and trying to avoid being in very big groups, or maybe not going for a restaurant and so on. So I found myself split between my civic duty, as I call it, and the cabin fever that I felt for all those passing months. And that was something that I'm still somehow thinking how to balance the two, how to balance the duty to do something good for myself and for others, while still having a social interaction or social circle. And I think that now there are things which I'm doing, which obviously are with the thought in mind that I keep myself and others safe. So everything is somehow well thought before being done. And I also found a new sense of freedom in being outside and being outdoors and just doing something that I really haven't done in my past 4 years with that regularity. And I think when it comes to where I am right now with my emotions regarding COVID and regarding our future, there is a higher sense of respect for human life. Of course, I think we all have it within ourselves, but I think these times really made us think twice about our actions, which can have very severe consequences. And if I have to give an advice to someone someone from the future, right? About these times, I would say it's transformational in many ways, some sort of a cyclical event that human nature would probably have to adapt to and understand that things have consequences on a very large scale. Some things have consequences, and this is one very clear example of that. And of course, the other thing that I would say is that be hopeful, because if we all come together, we can get through this, healthy and safe.